to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is 2020, September 7th, Monday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and today's Labor Day, a holiday in United States. You are looking at the background image is my Microsoft Surface Pro. So this is a tablet, and that's the background image for today, if you are wondering. So I have a page reviewing this product. You can go and read about. Just search for the title. Search for Xali with the title. You'll find it. And so today we are going to do Emacs Lisp. I'm going to show you. Let's do together. Actually, I'm going to do Emacs Lisp coding about date and time. How do you write a command to insert date and time of various formats? ISO formats, each region, each country have their different formats for date and time. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And also the more difficult topic about how do you parse date and time. So I haven't been done that for a while. It's the last time I've done that is like 5 or 10 years ago. So we are going to do that. Okay, shall we begin? So, by the way, so the tablet, I started to use it about 4 years ago, and this is my first time using pen computing, this digital pen, and that is fantastic. You can actually write notes, write Chinese, or especially, when you write notes like drawings, these drawings you cannot do with keyboard, so if you are doing math, explaining things or notes to your friends and so on, or teaching, this is fantastic. So you can buy it. And by the way, of course, this is not the only item you can buy. Tablets is pretty popular today, but so there are a few ones. For example, you can get. Let's show Emily's stuff. So who is here? Raise your hands. Okay, we don't have anybody here. We have 5 people. Am I talking? Am I doing fine? Am I alive? Check video, check audio. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do Emacs Lisp. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm gonna chat 2 minutes about this pen computing. So Emily is a eminent member of our Discord. Okay. Discord is kind of annoying because every time it hold on a second. So I'm back. So Emily is a eminent member of our Discord group. She always have interesting things to say. So anyway, she's got this ink display technology phone from China. Fantastic. I'm not sure I don't think it's available in USA. This is Hisense AI Proc CC phone. Okay, so I don't think, as far as I know, it's not available in USA. So anyway, ink display cell phone. And she also got this Zoom tablet, which you can buy on Amazon. You go to search for Xali display ink phone. You'll find my page. Okay, you can buy. So this is a Zoom tablet, and there is some Chinese on it. Okay, so let's see. Can you read Chinese? Well, I can read Chinese. So you see, this Chinese. This is Taoism. The way that becomes a way is not the immortal way. The name that becomes a name is not the immortal name. I don't think that's a good translation. Okay, there are tons of translations of this Tao Te Ching. But anyway, so let me read on. The way that becomes a way is not the immortal way. The name that becomes a name is not the immortal name. The maiden of heaven and earth has no name. The mother of all things has a name. Thus, in innocence we see the beginning. In passion we see the end. two different names for one and the same. The one we call dark, the dark beyond dark, the door to all beginnings. This is the typical Chinese Taoism kind of thing, philosophy, which is kind of nonsensical. Well, in some either nonsensical or multitudes of interpretation. You could see it any means you want. That's characteristics of Chinese language, in fact. But if you read in this passage in Chinese, it's actually it's kind of more interesting because you have to use the original language that there's more poetry. But anyway, so you see, it's hard to explain. There are tons of translations and interpretations written by different authors. You can go buy. So you go to Amazon, you click a link and go buy English versions of it. Dao De Jing. In fact, we have several people, Western people, who are interested. It's one of the things that Western people are interested, especially today. So anyway, so Dao, it's kind of deep, shall we say? Okay, so let's do Emacs Lisp. Okay, let's hide the Discord. Emacs Lisp. So who is here? Who is with me? Winnie07. Good morning. So 8 people. Okay, so let's begin to do Emacs Lisp. So we are going to do Emacs Lisp parse date and time. So first of all, let me show you a. Let's begin from the easy stuff to the difficult. So the easy stuff is first of all is to insert. How do you write a command to insert date and time? So you go to my Emacs tutorial. Just search for practical Emacs Lisp. You'll find it. Okay. If you like my stuff, buy it. Okay. That's what I'm doing video live stream for, to marketing part of because I enjoy it. So anyway, print date and time, and so you have a command here. It's already written. I'm going to show you this command. You can grab the code on this page. So let me show you the code. Okay. So on the pink window, you can see all my commands calls. Okay, so on the pink window, you can see all my commands and keys. I'm using Xafly keys and using a Vorak keyboard. So let's see. So first of all, let me show you the command about print date and time. So show in browser. This is my talk show page for today. Okay, so back to Emacs, and so I want to insert a date and time. So I just press a key. There it is, and the command is called. It shows up right here. Wait, here. Xa select date, and the key I have is space EU. That U. In this command log mod, because I have a brief. Let me show you. Okay. So I have a brief that turns. Let me show you. So I type U space and it becomes YOU. So that is why you see this there. It should be space EU. So I need to do something. I need to turn off a brief over there. So you can see this new empty buffer. The key is delete C N. That N is N. Okay, so for example, I type N, press space, it becomes end. So you and me, you and me, you and me. Fantastic. The power of a brief. Search for Xali Emacs a brief. I have a full tutorial on that. A brief is the most fantastic thing in Emacs. So anyway, insert date. You see, I press a key like insert date. I can insert several formats. So I do universal command, Control U, then press my key, and you can see in the mini buffer, I have several choices of formats. 1 or 2. This sequence of digits. 3. Different choices of let's say I pick 1. Okay, enter. So let's do another one. and magnify, let's say 2, okay, then I got string of digits. So that's a command. So let's do describe key and press a key, then you can see the documentation, the inline doc for that command. So this is insert date, and you can jump to the code. Source code is in Starfly Keys Smart. So enter. So here is our code. Okay, let's copy it. Let's not copy it. Let's just magnify. Let's do this. Okay. So from here to here, narrow to region, so you can just see the whole thing. Not too many lines, 30 lines. Okay. So that is the command. And okay, let's explain how this is done. So insert date time is pretty easy. So first of all, you have this part about style. So this is when Emacs asks you for what kind of format of date and time you want. I'm not going to explain this in detail. You're gonna study it, read the code. Okay, but I'm going to explain the formatting itself. So we have a first of all, so if this line says when there is a region, then delete it. Okay, then delete the region, because so it overrides it. For example, I create a new buffer, same thing. Okay, I select it. Now I call the command to insert the date. Okay, then it just delete, the overrides the region selection. Okay, that's what this line does. Then it basically just insert. So the whole code is about inserting, which one you want. So insert, let's go back to insert, magnify. So you can see there's a condition. Okay, let's switch to the the Courier, the monospace font. You see, you can press a key to switch font style, proportional or monospace. So this command is called variable pitch mod. Okay, so you can do that yourself. So anyway, so insert. Okay, so condition. Now we set a style before. We have style 0, 1, 2, 3. User pick the style. So if it's style 0, that means this format, this kind of universal format. Then you just say, you call this function format times string. Now, so this is how you format date and time. Okay, then you give this kind of a key special characters. Capital Y means year, 4-digit year. Lowercase m means 2-digit month, and lowercase d means 2-digit date. So I guess this is kind of common in many programming languages. So if you want to, you can look at the detail. Just call describe function on format times string. So let's do it. Describe function format times string. So there is the documentation for format time string, and you can see it gives you all the details here about what all these cryptic key codes to to insert date or minute or hour, things like that. Okay, so overall here is the insert code and condition. Style 1, then we do format string here. And if style 1, you add an extra A, capital A, that is for spelled out full name for the week, day name, and so on. Some of the formats require a little bit coding. For example, if you want just a string of digits, this is one of the ISO format. For example, here is 2018 04 means April 12th, 22 o'clock means 22 o'clock means 10 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, 40 minutes and 15 seconds. So you have to do a bit coding. You have to, for example, you have to delete the colon, remove the colon. So anyway, so that's the code. Format time string. This is the key function is format time string. Okay, so that's about that code. Okay, so widen, undo. Okay, let's close it. Okay, so we have several, so date and time. Okay, so let's just okay, showing browser. So that is about inserting time. Okay, now let's put that near the bottom. Okay, showing browser. Any questions, comments, or questions? So the next thing we're gonna do is to talk about how do you parse time, date and time in Emacs Lisp. Now that is a quite complex thing to do. In fact, that is complex in basically any language, any programming language. Good morning, Derek A. So the question is, how do you parse date and time? Okay, so how long have I been talking? We've been talking for 16 minutes. Okay, let's talk about how do you parse date and time. Okay, so let's look at so I have another article here in my Emacs website about print date and time, which basically we just covered. You know, you want to print date and time in several formats. This is what you do using the format time stream function. Okay, so that's about that article. So now let's go back. Now the next thing we're gonna talk about is how do you parse date and time, which is this article. Okay. So here is you know, parsing data and time is a very tedious and complex task in any programming language, and this problem is such a problem that there is no designated algorithm for it. You know, it's kind of like it's one of those real world problem. There is no actually fixed algorithm like mathematics. You know, for example, the greatest common divisor, the you know, the 11th prime number. How do you factor a number? You know, those, or how do you multiply a matrix? You know, those are very concise, concrete problems, and or how do you sort? How do you sort a bunch of numbers or strings? So these kind of problems, we, you know, over the past 50 or 100 years, we have a lot of algorithms. You know, a lot of people study it. But for date and time, it's such a complex problem. Partly because the calendar, you know, how did we come up with, you know, such a date and time, like 12 months and 7 days for a week, and how many days in a year? You know, 365 days in a year. That is actually a very complex, extremely complex astronomical problem, planetary problem. So it's, you know, so calendar. The fact that we have calendar, the calendar itself is non-trivial, and it takes centuries, you know, for us to come up with calendars. So anyway, anyway, first of all, we have a calendar. Then we have, you know, in English we have these strings to represent date, different kind of formats. And now we want to parse them. So it's non-trivial in any language, but usually, you know, today we almost any language, they have built-in library that does that. But depending on what language, they are usually incompatible or complex. You know, they have different levels of features, you know, abilities, how they can parse a date. So in Emacs Lisp, it turns out, you know, I studied this back in like 10 years ago, 2011. That's the first time I dive into how do you parse date and time. So let's do actual code. Okay, let's, instead of talking, let's actually start to do code. Let's see how what we're gonna do. So the problem, so what are we going to do? So there is a, so we want to parse date and time. So given a string, you know, for humans we can understand what this means, but you have to let computer understand, you know, what this string means. That is what parsing is about. So the problem is, given any of these date and time, you want to convert it into this universal kind of universal format. Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem we want to do. So the solution in Emacs is there is a parse time library, okay, with this function parse time string. But it's not all that powerful, if I recall correctly, because some of these date time strings it cannot understand. It doesn't understand. It should, because even though you see the problem about parsing date time is not a difficult problem. It's not like solving one of the great math problems where no mathematicians can come up with a solution. It's not like that, but rather it's a complex problem in a tedious sense. It's quite tedious to like, for example, one solution is just try all possible ways. There are not many varieties. You can try all possible ways. So the Emacs Lisp doesn't do well. So here I try to use the Emacs Lisp built-in function parse time string to try to see which format it understands and which one it doesn't. So let's do it. Okay, so let's go to the code. So okay, make a backup copy and let's show the code. So here I have a code. Okay, so it says testing for supported format for parse datetime string. Okay, now as of 2016, so I did this in 2016, that's Emacs version 25, but today the Emacs version I have is Emacs 27. So you can see, press Ctrl U, then Meta X, then type version. You see, now we got Emacs version 27. So 4 years change. Let's see what has changed. Okay, let's gonna do it. Evaluate this, require parse time, and Unix format. Okay, so Unix format. This is, this string is from Unix. Unix love this string. Let's see if they are equal. Okay, run it. Neo. Okay, so something changed. Something changed in the past 4 years. So parse time string, it returns a list like this. Okay, but okay, let's see what it actually returns. So let's paste this here, Ctrl U, run it. So it returns this thing. So how is this differ from that? Oh, okay, so instead of neo, so here is a neo, but here it has a value of -1. So what does that mean? I don't know. You have to look at docstring for parse time string. So describe function. So let's see. So pass the time in string into, okay, here's the format it returns: second, minute, hour, day, month, year, and DOW, I don't know what that is, and DST is the time zone, and TZ, I don't know what that is. So it says, okay, string should be something resembling an RFC 822. These fucking Unix fucks. They love these RFCs. They love to cite RFC. RFC is kind of the Unix affiliated standard. Even for example, on the other hand, there's ISO standard and other standard, much more actually much more universal than much more established. But the Unix people, they always love RFC. So anyways, string should be something resembling an RFC 822, okay, or later date time. Okay, in case let's in case in case you guys haven't seen RFC, here is RFC. These days, you young people, you guys haven't seen RFC. You see, so RFC 822 is August 1982. The standard for the format of ARPA Internet Text Messages. Okay. God, 1982. This is ancient. Okay, so anyway, so what is DOW? Okay, let's see. So anyway, let me read. Okay, so string should be something resembling an RFC 822 or later date time. For example, Friday something something blah blah blah. But this function is somewhat liberal in what format it accepts, and will attempt to run a likely value even for somewhat more formed strings. The values returned are identical to those of decode time. Okay, there's decode time, but any unknown value other than DST are returned as nil, and an unknown DST value is returned as -1. Oh, okay. So that's what the -1 means. Let's go back to our code. You see, let me show you. Okay, so here, over here's a result from Emacs 25. And here is a result from Emacs 27. The difference is this -1. This -1 is the second last element of this list. And according to the documentation, it's the DST. Now, this documentation, it didn't explain what this fucking DOW or DST or TZ means. Now, that's a flaw of documentation, So if you guys are a fan of GNU Emacs or Free Software Foundation, go tell them to change it. I'm not going to do it because I've done this 1,000 times, and it tastes like a greasy coin in your mouth. Okay, so it doesn't say what DOW and DST means. So you can look at decode time. So let's look at decode time. So decode time. So what's the difference? Decode time. Wait. So parse time string is from this parsetime.el. So let's go to the source code. So parsetime string is this code here, and it's written in Emacs Lisp. Okay. So it's here. So it's written in Emacs Lisp. So apparently the decode time string. So let's close that. So let's go to the decode time. Now decode time, it's written in C. Now I always pay attention to that, because when something is in C, usually it means it's much more faster and more fundamental. Usually, Emacs is written in C and Lisp. You have a core C code, then a big chunk, then a big part of it is Lisp, written in Lisp itself. So anyway, decode time string probably introduced before Emacs version 19, which is around 2000 or so, year 2000. So this function does not change global state. Yeah, okay. Including the match data. I'm not sure why they mention that. Of course, it seems irrelevant, because the match data is only usually changed by functions that deal with search string. When you do a search string, yeah. Anyway, so decode time, decode the time value as second, minute, hour, day, month, year, DOW, DST, UTC off. Okay, the option time is the time value to convert. Okay, the option time. So Okay, so anyway, I want to know what is DOW. So search for DOW. Okay, here it says DOW, day of the week. Oh, obviously. An integer between 0 to 6. Okay, where 0 is Sunday. Okay, DST is daylight saving time. Oh, okay. And TC UTC off is an integer indicating the UTC offset in seconds. Oh, that's advanced. Offset in seconds. Well, that's just the time zone, isn't it? Yeah. So it's a so Emacs Lisp did it in kind of a weird way. So in other languages, I think usually the UTC it's like a zone difference. Like for example, California, San Francisco is 8 hours slower than the Greenwich Mean Time, than the UTC. But anyway, Emacs has this UTC off, and that's in terms of seconds. Yeah, the number of seconds east of Greenwich. Okay, so decode time. Anyway, I think so. How am I doing? Hey, good morning, Kang Xiaoguang. Kang Xiao. So we had a talk about mathematical language today. Day of week, yeah. So Winnie says, I enjoyed reading RFCs on my e-reader for bedtime reading. Yeah, you are probably a Unix fan. Unix is dead today. It died. It's killed by Linux. Linux is sometimes supposed to be Unix, sometimes not, depending on on the politics at the moment. So anyway, Unix. So what are we doing? Are we going to continue doing this? This is tedious. Okay. So anyway, so there's a difference here. Let's make a note of it. Let's just leave it. Okay. Let's try the next one. So the Unix format, I guess it's gonna be different too. The problem is that it's probably the same, but basically the last number will be different. Okay, so let's do this. So let's copy this, paste it here. Let's wait. So let's evaluate that. So yeah, so it seems all the same. You see, the difference is just the, how do you call that, the DST. Okay, so before, apparently in Emacs version 25 it didn't understand daylight saving time. Wait, let's see, what does -1 mean? So DST, oh, unknown. Okay, there it is. So unknown DST value is returned as -1, while before it's just nil. So it makes no difference. For some reason Emacs 27 decided that unknown is -1 instead of nil. I don't know why, but so let's try this. Okay, so let's just try it. Yeah, so it always return nil now, so it's annoying. So I have to, why don't we just change all the values in this buffer, change the last nil to -1, so that, for example, we change this to -1, then we run this and it return true, then we know there is basically no change. Yeah, so let's do that. So nil parentheses, go to the top, find and replace nil parentheses replaced by -1 nil. Okay, do it. Yes, here, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so now go to the top and change this to -1 too. So we're gonna evaluate to see if this to see if parse time string in Emacs 27 understand this format, Unix format. Okay, if it returns true because there's an equal comparison, that means yes. Otherwise, no. Run it, true. Okay, next, remove that format reminder. Okay, remove the. Let's ignore that. So run this true. This we don't care. We just added that today. And run this true. Run this true. Run it true. Run it true. Run it true. Run it true. It's all true. Delete the buffer. Close that. Undo. Back to our HTML page. So all these sections, these formats, okay, these are supported formats of parse datetime string. They are still supported. Now what's interesting is this section. This section is unsupported. Let's see. Okay, I'm hot here. In California, we have a crisis, emergency. Yeah, actually, on Twitter it says, from the government, it's an emergency because of heat, and there's also fire burning in the mountains, so it's super hot. So let's test see this unsupported format to see if there's any change. Supported format, and what is this? Testing for supported format for parse time string. Oh, we have a Jesus. Here's a 2016. What's the difference? Emacs 25. Wait, why is it repeated twice? Oh, it's not repeated. I just separated because we are testing some different formats. Yeah, USA convention like formats. Okay, we should combine these two together. It's just so next one. So test ISO formats. Yes, yes, no, no. Okay, okay. So you can see some of them returns no. You can see this. Okay, so that's what shall we do here? Make a backup of the buffer, and let's okay, let me think what to do. We gotta do this faster because right now it's becoming a rambling. Okay, so what I want to do now is to merge these different sections of code, so we have just one. That's a decision about okay, here, go to the bottom, and here, delete that, paste the code here, then here, delete that, then paste the code near the bottom, so we have all the code together. So, and let's search for that. That's the same for all three of them. Let's search for that. 1, 2, 3, 3 occurrences. So we delete that, delete that, and this part is also repeated several times, require parse time, so we don't need that. Okay, and meanwhile let's add a code section. Let's add a code section here so that you see, so that we have a code section. Yeah, so Okay, so and now let's again change that to -1. Okay, so we did this before. Let's see. So this part is no. The date is new. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, try this part. So we want to check if it understand this format. August 1st, 1 st. So so let's copy, paste it here, and let's put -1 here. Run it. True. Okay, true means no good, because August is 8. However, the date part should be 1, but it says nil, so it didn't understand this 1 st thing. Okay. So that it understand, let's run it. Okay, and this part, right? Okay, so anyway, I think so now some US formats. So you see, this format is very common in USA. Number/year, yeah, very common. USA is month, date slash, month/date/ and the year. So let's see if it understand it. So if we copy the code, put it here, Control U, eval last expression, it doesn't understand it, because you see it returns 2001. Jesus, completely wrong. So that's why I say, the Emacs parse time string facility is not that flexible, because this is a very common format in USA. Okay, but I think you get the idea what I'm doing. You get idea. Of this function. This, it also doesn't understand this format. Now, what about the ISO 8601 format? So this one, let's say 18/2007. So it understand, and this format just 2000, just a year, it understands. And this format, a year, 2-digit year dash 2-digit month, it doesn't understand it neither. Okay, let's try it. Control U, eval last buffer, so it doesn't understand it. It's all nil. Hot. So you can see, the ISO is a universal. It's kind of the ISO 8601 format is kind of the international standard format, and that format is used in tons of technologies, in Atom, in RSS feed, on the web, most on the web too. The Americans don't like this format, because Americans, they like the Unix thing, the Unix fuck, like this one. This is a typical the Unix thing. Okay, that's it. I think that's it about this thing. Let's just close the whole thing. Okay, delete the buffer, undo, return to our to where it was. So we explained, so that's the main thing. Parse time string, that's a function to parse time. It's possible that Emacs added more functions since 5 years ago. I don't know. I'm guessing not. But you never know. So you have to look at, see the. Let's look at, okay. Because I'm using Emacs 27, which just came out 2 weeks ago. So Control H N for the Emacs news. So you can see here is this is install Emacs 27 news file. Then now let's search date. Okay, let's just search for this matching line state to see if it. Oh, there it is. You see, a new package to parse ISO 8601 time, date, durations, and now after 20 years, now Emacs has this feature. Let's go there and look. And proportional found for reading. So a new package to parse ISO 8601 time, date, durations, and intervals has been added. The main function to use is ISO 8601 parse, but there's also ISO 8601 parse date and so on. Okay, so the main function is this one. Now, which package is this from? Probably the same package. Fantastic. Okay. Anyway, so let's try it right away. Let's go and try it. Reading the news file paid off. So actually today is worthwhile. We found a new functions. This is the function. So let's make it a let's try to parse it just like before. So what's the so here's a code. Okay, magnify. So here's what we need to do. First of all, describe function. There it is. Oh, it's in a different package. It's in this package. It's not in parse datetime. Okay, so open the source code, magnify. So this is the function, and go to the bottom. It says provide. So you need that. So instead of provide, we say require. Okay. So RE. Okay. QUIRE. Okay, so that's how you tell Emacs to load it. So run the code. So we loaded that. Then we describe function. Yeah, that's a function. So the syntax is like that. Okay, and string. Okay, so we have to type some kind of date there. But what does it return? Let's look at the describe function again. So it says parse an ISO date time string and returns a decode time. So it returns the same thing as the parse time string. Okay, so far so good. An optional form. So what does the optional form mean? So let's see. What's the second argument form? Strings like that, that. Incomplete strings like that are valid too. Okay, fantastic. So Emacs has improved. So we can look back at the page and look at some of the things it did not support. No. So you see. Wait. Yeah, that's why I separate them into different sections. For example, this one and this one, it doesn't support, but now it does. So let's copy that. Let's try it here. So paste it. So actually let's just put that out. Okay, so let's see if it supports now. So that's the string we want. Okay, now run it. It works because you see 2007 August, there it is, 2007 August. So yes. Okay, yes. And what about this one? Okay, this one. Okay, what about it? Let's see. 2007 August. Okay, yes. And what about this one? Okay, this one. Okay, what about it? Let's see. 2007 August. Okay, yes. And what about this one? Okay, this one. Okay, what about it? Let's see. 2007 August. Okay, this one. Okay, what about this one? Okay, this one. Okay, what about it? Let's see. wait. Okay, so copy that, paste it here, replace this by the ISO thing. There. Okay, wait. Okay, so here it is. So we're gonna run this code, shrink a little bit. We're gonna run this code to see if it works. Control U, eval last. So this is 2001, check. August, check. First, check. 11 o'clock, check. 50 minutes, check. 37 seconds, check. And this is -07 time zone, so that's California time. Does that check? It seems to check. I'm pretty sure that's probably, yeah. No, stupid Emacs, it uses a number of seconds. So 7 times 60 times 60 is this number probably. Let's try it. Okay. 7 times 60 times 60. Okay. There it is. 25200. Check. So okay, so that's it. I think that's it for today. We talked for long. Philip says -1 is no info available, right? Did you do a stream about numerical integrators, double integrators yet? Oh my god, that's a serious math topic. No, I haven't done that, and I wouldn't know what to do about that. Are you talking about math? The numerical integration? Well, actually, numerical integration is not difficult. It's popular. It's calculus. It's calculus. I can do that. So is that what you're talking about, Philip Tavas? But I think that's it for today. So we talked about Emacs Lisp, inserting datetime in different formats, and parsing datetime. So I'm going to, update my page. I'm going to work offline. I'm going to update my tutorial on this page after 4 years basically. So there are some improvements in Emacs Lisp. So actually, I wrote a datetime parser function that parses some of the ISO time formats that Emacs didn't understand. So I wrote it before. So now I can improve it because there are some built-in things. Okay, so I think that's it for today. If you like my stuff, if you like my talk show, buy my Emacs tutorial. Okay, we talked for 53 minutes. Thank you guys for coming. Bye.